Nigeria had been set aside by the apex court in the past. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) had revealed that a 7-man panel of Supreme Court justices, led by Justice Tanko Muhammad, had been misled by the All Progressives Congress (APC), and so the judgment should be reversed. However, after several weeks of bickering by both political parties and postponement by the Supreme Court, the apex court finally made its decision known.
Today, Supreme Court has affirmed its decision that Hope Uzodinma was legitimately elected the governor of Imo State. It has refused the application to...
Those involved in the case say it was clear that the Supreme Court displayed the highest form of independence, as the judgment by the 7-man panel had 1 out of 7, Justice Chima.
The authority not to the majority. So that's the issue.
Many say justice should not only be done, but to be seen to be done.
It's only acting in accordance to the powers granted to it under our Constitution, which makes it the court of final and last resort. So there's no court in Nigeria who can sit in appeal over its own decision. That is why we have the court in hierarchy. And the Supreme Court remains the apex court. Asking the Supreme Court to overrule itself and review its decision outside the provision, the ambit it is allowed to, which is to correct clerical errors or give effect to the decision made already, will open the doors to so many frivolous applications coming in, even at the lower courts, which will, of course, open also the judicial system up to endless litigations.
Okay, in your position as a lawyer that
Yes.
is vast with what goes on in the judiciary, is this the right decision by the Supreme Court, or was there credible reasons for a review?
Those points, well, they were good, interesting points, but does not give the Supreme Court power. The Supreme Court gets its power from the sphere in the interest of justice. And
Okay, what in your opinion are the implications of the precedents being set by this ruling?
It just means it's basically maintain status quo, which this is the current position it has, that the president have been, that he cannot sit on his own, he cannot sit on appeal on his own decision. So it gives further, it strengthens that position. It can now be used as a point for argument in subsequent cases when this kind of applications come up. So it's a strong precedent. A 6-to-1 majority judgment is a strong precedent.
What are the options for the parties now that the whole drama has, screeched to a halt? There
Yes.
is no other open litigation for both parties. What should be the next steps?
The next steps will be for all parties to abide by the decision, the judgments of the Supreme Court, and do all within their power to ensure that the office of the governor of Imo State is run smoothly by the governor that was installed.
Thank you very much for your thoughts on the news. All right, we continue with other stories now. The Ministry of Environment has revealed its commitment to containing the coronavirus. The Minister of Environment, Mohammed Mahmood, while speaking to newsmen in Abuja, says the ministry is set to deploy environmental health officers to assist in tackling the spread of the virus and help to identify high-risk areas. Mahmood says the ministry will insist on proper hygiene management and increase awareness on the benefits of hand washing as a containment measure to curb the spread of the virus.
The environment sector, under the leadership of the Federal Minister of Environment, will key into the COVID-19 containment strategy of the health sector. We shall deploy environmental health officers to coordinate essential strategies in identifying high-risk areas in Nigeria. Universal temperature monitoring, masking, and hand washing, in addition to mobilizing protocols, shall be prioritized in the environmental contingency plan. In the same vein, environmental decontamination and disinfection shall be undertaken in high-exposure areas with a view of killing the developed viruses.
The news will continue after this very short break. Don't go away. Senegal recorded its second case of COVID-19. The Ministry of Health confirmed in a statement late Tuesday. Authorities said the patient was a French national who arrived in Dakar on February 29 from Paris. This case is similar to the first, which was recorded on Monday, also of a French national resident in Senegal, but having flown in from France. Up next is our foreign news.
That money we shoot every person that we know we can shoot. We don't let people die there.
You could have killed me for a long period of time.
Is that time why I carry gonorrhea? I first go hospital first, but it no go. Now I come make that mama.
He just pulled it, he pointed and shot.
What is the soul of a man?
They suffer too much. They suffer too much.
Issues around the Nigerian police, we have to tackle it holistically.
Joe Biden has won 8 of the 14 states that voted to pick a Democratic White House candidate on Super Tuesday, a remarkable rebound for his campaign. The ex-U.S. vice president has swept Massachusetts, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Kansas, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia. But Bernie Sanders is being projected to win the biggest prize of the night, California and 3 other states. They lead the race to face Republican President Donald Trump in November. Coming up after the short break is our business news with Irene Ubani.
And in business, recent data by S&P revised Nigeria from a stable to negative economy. We also have seen that with a population size of over 200 million people, we in recent times have seen our foreign direct investment also decline, with Ghana, for example, attracting more FDIs. Now joining me in the studio live here is Michael Famoroti of Stairs NG. Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure to be here this morning.
Yes. Regarding the reports by S&P, does it bother you a lot when you saw that Nigeria was moved from a stable economy to, downward trend, having it as negative?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a good sign. Now all 3 major ratings companies have us in, I guess, negative or junk territory. It is a symptom of what's going on, right? I think the biggest impacts really have been on the oil price, which is a very important external gauge of the health of our economy, right? Yes, we've seen some recent gains this week, but generally the outlook is quite negative for oil prices. When you also understand that a lot of our FX market is dependent on short-term investment, and those may dwindle as people become more uncertain and move to safer fixed income things, then you understand why the ratings company would expect things to look a bit worse over the next 3 to 6 months on the investment side. So it is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's not particularly so surprising given the hits to oil prices.
I mean, I'm talking about FX. We also see that we have our reserves dropping, massively. What impact would this potentially have on our economic stability moving forward?
Yes, so the reserves are a very important feature because they underpin the current FX strategy, right?
Of course.
Which put simply is a fixed exchange rate that the CBN defends using its reserves. I would have been worried about the reserves, particularly with the drop in the oil price, but at the same time, it looks like the federal government is going to borrow about $3 billion, which automatically sort of boosts your reserves. Eventually, though, the chickens will come home to roost, because when you strip out the dollar debts we have from our reserves, whether you're talking about OMO bills or Eurobonds, then you find that our reserves are somewhere around $20 billion, not $40 billion.
Which is certainly not encouraging for a country of our
Exactly,
size.
right. So I expect the CBN and the government to keep trying to see ways of plugging the reserves gap. But if oil prices drop too low, perhaps we're talking about $45 for a prolonged period, then we may be forced to see are they able to defend this currency? And I expect that the answer might be no.
Now, something else that may, bother some is the fact that our foreign direct investment for a country of this size, like I said before, is below $1 billion. What does this say of a country like ours, particularly to foreign investors?
Yeah, so for me, the most interesting thing about foreign direct investment is
from Q1 to Q3 of last year, it was at $663 million.
Yeah. If you look at the last 10 years, right, if you combine FDI for the last 10 years, you get something like $7 billion has come in, right, in foreign direct investment to Nigeria over a 10-year period. And this is NBS data, right? So it is a long-term trend. It's a trend that we've been seeing for a long time, and it just shows that there isn't long-term confidence in the infrastructure and policy stability, right? People will bring in their money when they expect to make short-term gains, but when the challenge is to come in here, set up a business or a factory, and stay here and make long-term profits, then it's much less attractive, right? And that speaks to addressing your infrastructure and institutions, which we are yet to properly do, right? There's no way around that problem apart from, addressing those two things.
How would this affect our businesses in the country?
Well, one positive, right, that you would say is in the absence of foreign investments, then perhaps local businesses can, grow, set up and thrive, right? The reality is, though, that the same environment that is scaring away the foreign investors is the same environment that is, squeezing the local businesses, right? I mean, we can pick up different examples from the Lagos State Okada ban to what we're seeing with Uber now in terms of the taxes that are being imposed. You can bring up corruption, you can talk about security, you can talk about infrastructure. The reality is, it's not a good environment for businesses. And I think the best way of summing that up is by pointing out that the NBS last calculated that there are about 40 million small businesses in the country. Right? Only 70,000 of those employ more than 10 staff. So everybody else is a one-man shop, essentially. You cannot grow an economy based on one-man shops, right? And that's the reality we're in.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. Because of time, this is all we can have. Thank you so much.
Pleasure as always. Thank you.
And that's all on Business News at this hour. I am Irene Ubani.
Thanks for the company, and that's how we're going to wrap things up at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making headlines. Do please join us again. Thank you for watching. Our conversation on One today is with Dr. Charles Omole, a trainer and strategist to businesses and governments across Europe, Middle East and Africa.
To get into the reins of leadership, it won't be given to us. We've got to go and get it.
How do we begin to change the narrative when it comes to leadership in this country?
Well, that's a very excellent question. It is true there is a leadership crisis, but it's not just a Nigerian problem. It's an African problem. The trajectory of all African countries have largely been the same, which is downwards, in the last 30, 40 years. These are people who have not managed 2 people in their life, some of them, and they want to be president of a 200 million, for them to even have the audacity that, because the Constitution says you have the right to, doesn't mean you should.
Premieres this Friday at 12:30 p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
Beautiful, classic, yet simple. That's the quickest description of the Nigerian flag, adjudged to be one of the finest in Africa. It takes a square shape. It has a breadth of 1.2 meters and a length of 2.4 meters for a big flag. Designed in 1959 and first officially hoisted on the 1st of October 1960, what does the flag represent to Nigerians?
The colors in the Nigerian flag, the green symbolizes natural wealth, while the white symbolizes peace.
I don't know the meaning. I just know that it is Nigerian flag, that's all I know.
Green symbolizes the vegetation of the country. Yeah, the vegetation of the country, while the white signifies the peace of the country.
As much as the flag has over the years being the national symbol, less attention has been paid to the designer.
Green, white, green. This is by no means looking like the presidential villa, but this is the home of the designer of the Nigerian flag, Pa Taiwo Akinkunmi.
Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi is 83. He lives in the ancient city of Ibadan. It's 60 years after he designed the flag. Some would call him a genius, others would call him a hero, but this graduate of Norwood Technical College, London, chooses to call himself a pensioner and a retired civil engineer. Despite his poor health and slurred speech, he tells of how in 1959, as an engineering student in London, he stumbled on a government advertisement for entries to design a national flag and how his entry became the flag. His initial design had an image of a radiating sun, but was removed by the judges of the screening committee in charge of the competition.
I was fortunate to reach the publication for the design, and I took part in the competition, and then I was lucky to win the advertisement for the design of the flag for use in the independence celebration.
How much was he paid for the flag?
I had a prize of about £100 for winning the competition.
As common with old people, Pa Michael Akinkumi's memory is failing him, but interestingly, he still remembers how to sing the national anthem.
To compatriot, Nigeria's called obey, to serve our fatherland with love and arms and praise. A nation of heroes shall never be in vain.
To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Away from the initial £100, that is 42,000 naira back in the days, and a national honor, what else has the flag designer received from the government of Nigeria? Young Akinkumi is Pa Taiwo's son. He says his father hasn't enjoyed much from the government except for a lifetime salary given to him by the past PDP administration.
During the past regime of the, what's it called, Jonathan, actually, he gave him National Award, OFR, Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, and he placed him on a monthly salary. So that was what Goodluck Jonathan then did then for him. So, and this present government, they are trying their best. Let me just put it that way. And go continue straight to them.
As the nation turns 59 and Nigerians celebrate another independence, there are expectations that notable Nigerians who played commendable roles in Nigeria's history will be more appreciated. However, the octogenarian sends his felicitations to Nigerians world over.
I am Taiwo Akinkumi, the designer of the Nigerian flag used for the independence celebration of the country, and I wish all our sundry happy independence.
Mary Chinda for Plus TV Africa.
On this episode, we're one-on-one with Ines Paul. She's the editor-in-chief Deutsche Welle.
The most important thing is to stay curious, to really want to learn something. Not to preach your opinion and tell the world what you think, but to really go out and to talk to people and listen. And I think we also have to be very honest when we made a mistake to correct it on air, on our social media platforms, to say, listen, that was wrong, we apologize.
How do you balance the crave for fast news and also making sure your reporting is deep?
It is even more important to be right than be fast. It's such a mistake to think everybody wants to leave and go somewhere else because Europe is so much better, or the United States. No. The unity in Europe is kind of fading.
Premieres this Monday at 12:30 p.m. with a repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. on Plus TV Africa. Hello, welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where we discuss and analyze the biggest entertainment stories. My name is Elsie Godwin, and I'm here with my amazing, interesting, and exciting co-anchors, Ife Omai and Beniak.
Today is a good day.
It is a good day. You know what's up now? I was gingered by the reservations, you know.
The lady's looking pretty.
Thank you.
Pretty possessing this morning, like. Possessing. Prepossessing. You look good, like what you got on. Elsie's looking all red, you know, man. So much passion being exuded. It's so all sweet. good. Thank you. I like it. You look handsome as well. Thank you very much. I like it.
You look, what's the word?
I think, can I give a compliment in peace?
Okay, I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
Moving on real quick. Megan Thee Stallion's label boss, Carl Crawford, accuses Jay-Z of trying to steal her, claims she owes him $2 million. He claims he's being robbed and blames Jay-Z's management company Roc Nation for pitting him against Megan. He denied being greedy and blocking her from releasing new music. He told Billboard, quote, "The only thing we ever did was give. Now she fell for the oldest trick in the industry, they conquer and divide them," end of quote. He went on to say, everybody in the industry knows this is what Jay-Z and Roc Nation do. They come in, they find the smallest things wrong with the problem because there weren't any problems before she left. And then she says that I didn't want to negotiate. He also said Megan Thee Stallion has 60-40 splits and she got part of her masters, also implying that that would not have happened if she were at
Most record deal would never give an artist their masters at first signing. Most record labels never do that.
And even 60-40.
Yeah, that's and 60-40 is pretty. When I heard that, I'm like, wow, this is great. This is fair enough, you know. And like we did say on the show yesterday, I think the whole Roc Nation thing probably would have led up to what happened between Stallion and a record label boss. It's pretty much unfortunate that this is happening right now, but this is it. I mean, you can't be up against Roc Nation. You can't be up against Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He has the connect. He has the money, and so and for Megan Thee Stallion, she's hungry. You know, like stereotypical of every artist, upcoming artist who needs the bread. They will always jump ship. And you're talking about Jay-Z. You're talking about Roc Nation. Who wouldn't want to jump on the ship of Roc Nation? You know, but at the end of the day, I want to trust Roc Nation to go do what is right because he's making so many claims. They're owing him. She goes to gigs. She charges like $100,000 for gig, and so far she's had about 25 gigs, and no money has been remitted to him. And so, if this is true, I want to believe Roc Nation will do what is right by the books.
I like that. I like that he's coming out to speak. He's not acting like the regular record label boss that would keep quiet and start for me and you owe me. He's giving details, and that's what I like about the story. However, I also don't want to look at this as a Jay-Z witch hunting or Roc Nation witch hunting. I feel business is business. So you got signed under Roc Nation to manage you. It is expected for them to do everything within their powers to fight for you and get better representation for you. Now, is there a hidden agenda behind that fighting? We don't know for sure.
you know. I really don't care if so much. Jay-Z is definitely in the know what's going on because he's of course, and he wouldn't manage and make sure everything is okay if he didn't see that there was something to gain from that. They're not related. You know, it's a management deal, so it behoves you as the management to Megan Thee Stallion to check the books, to check the records. What Crawford is putting out, is it true? And what comes to mind again is Golden Boy Entertainment and Peruzzi. DMW was meant to serve as the management outfit for Peruzzi, not a record label. Then at the end of the day, all the proceeds, the shows, the music being released by Peruzzi under DMW, what was due to Golden Boy was not being given to Golden Boy.
It's interesting you're even raising that because it seems like the conversation around that has died down, but this woman, Kemi Olunloyo, I know people don't pay high level of attention, but that woman drops so many stinkers in the industry and around. And she said something yesterday, and she was saying she was saying that something big is going to happen very soon, that the case we think is done, that's the Golden Boy, that is not over. And if DMW is not careful, that it's going to actually dig deep into their pockets in a way that they cannot handle. So we're still watching that space to see what happens.
I think the only thing I would say for Megan is that, you know, it's up to you to actually decide. There's a lot of people who have been upcoming and stick with their
one person who believed in them when nobody else did. It's always safer to me because you wouldn't always be in the limelight, and I don't know if you always be important to Roc Nation like you are right now, so consider that. But that doesn't mean that you need
going by her words, she said she felt they were family, so they've treated you as family always.
So I think she should take this interview that the boss had as an insight of how he's feeling. I don't smell any bad blood. I don't smell any revenge or spitefulness in it at all. So she should really hear him out, and then obviously they slash that out. But understand that Jay-Z's not your daddy or zaddy or any type of daddy. So stay woke.
Okay, let's move to the next story. Ariana Grande and Mickey Foster's relationship is over after 8 months. A source tells US Weekly that they ended romantic things between them around a month ago. There is no reason, however, given as to why the former lovebirds decided to split.
I really don't have much to say.
It's interesting how the breakup is bigger than the main story, because when we started suspecting if they were together, it was a very quiet news, and Ariana Grande has been one who's come out a lot to talk about her love life, because it's been interesting. They've died, they have there's quite a bit that has gone on. Some of them have gone to get married. So her personal life has unfolded, and the repercussions of that have unfolded in front of everyone. So we took more interest into this person because of that. Not that there's anything actually phenomenal or special about that, but it seems to have died down now. There's nothing big about that. That's life. It happens. Okay, sorry, I guess.
I also like to, I really thank you, Nez. I like to bring back what we said on this tape. I think you were on the show when we were discussing her life and when she released the thank you, Nez, and also dealing with the death of her ex. And we were saying that her life is something you can actually look at and want to emulate, because she goes through a lot. We don't even know the ones that are going on behind the scenes.
Does she ever had a stint with Big Sean?
Yes.
Yes, she did. Yes, sometime. Yeah, they did.
But the good thing is she finds a way to put all this into her music and make something out of her life. So I think I still wish her the very best. If it's a relationship ended, another one. Thank you. Next.
For me, I'm going to take it from the social media angle. You're a celebrity. I did say it sometime here on the show that there are a few things I feel about you shouldn't make it to social media, because when it goes wrong, then the whole world is privy to it. Because
I don't think she did. I don't think she did not.
But that's the thing. I mean, you're a celebrity already. The spotlight is already on you. And so is that a part of your life you can actually keep away from the spotlight?
It's almost impossible.
It is impossible. Except you put a bag on his head
in this part of the world. In this part of the world, I think it's even easier to hide your relationship here compared to over there where the paparazzos and paparazzis follow you everywhere. So the good thing is she wasn't putting it out there herself, but there is no way you won't know who is with who.
Exactly.
They can't really hide it.
I'm so well. I think suffice to say, so far there's not been anything scandalous about Ariana Grande as it stands. So hasn't there?
There is.
Oh really?
Yeah, maybe not in her love life. That she blackfishes. That's the biggest thing about her, that she acts like a black girl, wears darker skin makeup, but doesn't actually emulate the black culture. A lot of them do that.
But she's mixed, isn't it?
She's white. She's white. She's a white girl. I watched her growing up on Victorious. I'm young. Yes, I'm that young. She's white. She's very white. But recently, with the transition, she's
trying to identify as a black person.
She's trying to get the benefits of looking like a black person. I don't think she actually wants to be a black person.
Oh, really? The benefits of looking like a black person?
in the industry.
In the industry, okay.
Of course, black music is the music. It's the standard everywhere. So of course you want to look like them.
I'm glad to find out that there's a benefit some way. Hallelujah. It's time for a quick break, but when we return, there's definitely more to discuss. Don't go nowhere.
Hello, beautiful people. I go by the name Black Bassi, and I am an actor and a musician. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has something to say, it is important that we bring the core issues to the fore.
As we lend our voices to inspire, inform, influence, and provoke your thoughts and action.
We want to hear these issues and know what you are saying. This is not just women talking.
It is an evocative program that touches the core of our existence.
We take on topics some may consider taboo and want to sweep under the carpet.
We understand that what touches one touches all.
We know you have a lot to say, so let's hear you.
Hi guys, my name is Yetunde Bakari. I'm an actress and a movie producer. I just want to tell you to keep watching Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Welcome back. Mike Ezuronye recounts how fraudsters among almost used his Lekki mansion as collateral for 80 million naira loan. So I don't know why this guy is always the one
people are using.
Recall that one was jailed for about a year and now another one is happening. I don't want to say what is on my mind.
It's gotta go.
You need that, right? Let's just keep it to ourselves.
Because when
right?
I saw it, I was like, when he was acting CBN saying, please be careful, I'm like, nobody is going to fall for a passport picture. Like your passport that's like, the shot is from here to here. Please. Which original passport has a picture where the head to like your belly button is showing? Like, I'm sure you're not going to edit this thing at home and then put it on there for us. But if that's what's happening, I don't want to be insensitive. And yes, I hope that the bank...
Yeah. And I hope that the right authorities take action.
Not going to trivialize his situation, you know, but I think
situation.
But Michael Zure needs to, I don't know, who does he keep company with? Who are the people around his circle? I mean, because hey, people easily get access to you that way and to your stuff.
To even know your house.
That's it. Then there's something you're not doing. There's something
he's
you're not
talking
doing
too
right.
much about this house. Or he's just supposed to know
Thank you very
about
much.
the house. Okay.
You know, or maybe you're putting too much of your business out there with people who are not concerned. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes to the fact that there's fraud in the system. There's fraud in the country. We can't totally ignore that.
Do you really think, though, that people are going to want to identify and target him as another victim after somebody just went to prison for using his name? Like, don't they think it's already stale by now? Like,
because if it was an easy catch, then yes, they will. It's called sweet. You know, it was sweet. So
okay, so his name is supposed to be on the passport, right, and other documents. And if this person is going to use his property for collateral, is his presence not required?
The gaps in between that story, because you just rightly said it, true. So I mean, how did they get the C of O? I mean, because they're also required.
Even if he didn't start the story, which I suspect, even if he didn't start the story, I think he really blew it. I don't think the story was going. I don't think this fraudulent act was going anywhere.
Or maybe he's in on the fraudulent act. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said
there are different angles to it. Exactly. Okay.
It just maybe
because you blew it out. Nobody really knew about it.
Yeah,
you made us know about it.
And you say your female fans, like, who are you talking about? Like. The devil, even with stats, it's clear here that women are not even that accessible to buying properties and things like that. It just makes the story a lot harder for me to believe. Like, a woman would really be the one to be buying that, like, 60 million naira house without 80 million, without any like support.
Like any
or
woman, this is not to shade the men or anything, but any woman who has worked hard enough to have that kind of money, trust me, she has eyes for details.
And she's not going to get a passport, believe a passport that your belly button is showing.
Exactly, just an international passport. I mean, the CFO, I mean, title deeds, I mean, all of that comes to play. So Mike Zure, I don't know, probably, I don't want to think it's a stunt.
Maybe he's not a stunt.
Maybe he's
a constant target.
He's not been in any movie lately that I can remember.
I think he.
After there was one Uncle Jeku. After that, which other one? There was a movie I saw of him lately about Lekki, something about Lagos life, where they were living a whole lot of fake life in Lagos. Not the Bling Lagosian, another movie like that.
Well, then he's working. So let's just leave it
there. So he needs to let me sound typical like the Nigerian would do. He should go for deliverance.
Okay, let's just move on to the next story, which is still on Nollywood, as Femi Fani Kayode makes Nollywood debut in Silent Prejudice, right?
Silent Prejudice.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's a good one, but did you notice how the blogs read out his full, like even the names?
Why did they do that?
Even the names we did not know he had.
Adekola, Ademola, something.
Why is it that deep?
No, to make sure he's the one. Like those names are not even going to be on his passport. I don't think we care.
So how did they get that information? Because I think
it's saying his Wikipedia. It's saying his bio.
All
of his names like that.
I guess so. But this is it. I don't know what is coming as a shock. I don't know what is it. Is it like coming as a surprise that Femi Fani is starring in
This is his first debut.
Yeah, is it coming as a surprise that he's starring in the movie?
Yeah, and also what he said.
He's always had a cultural background. I mean, go through his
through his bio. At one time, he was culture and tourism minister.
Are you saying
is that equivalent to being
Are you saying we shouldn't be as excited as he is for himself? Because he's definitely excited. If you read what he wrote, he's talking about how he now respects the craft more.
He has a training in the
now
arts,
understands
and so it's expected that okay.
It's expected.
Yes, it's expected at the end of the day.
I really don't think so.
Especially with what he has attained, being the minister, being.
It's always a cross carpet. Politicians, some politicians go into acting.
Well, I mean, they also act in the house, right? They act in the house as well, right?
I feel like that list is very small. There's a lot of industries, maybe music and acting, yes, but politics and acting.
Or maybe moving from acting and then into politics. It's usually not the other way.
Yeah. For most of those who cross carpet into acting, most politicians who do check their training, check their background. They have training in arts and theatre.
So they're chasing their passion, right?
There's a lot of politicians in there. Yeah. That's not just Femi Falana, and it's because of the commission.
Femi Fani Kayode.
Exactly. Sorry, Femi Falana seems to be.
Now I understand why the blogs had to spell out all his names, so you two won't do this. Okay.
But I think it's also because of the commission that is sponsoring this movie. Obviously, it's from a political agenda, and I think they're trying to really educate us with this movie, and they're trying to get it from the horse's mouth or right from the source and stuff. So I'm eager to see. I've never said this before, but I'm eager to see this in Nigerian movie and see what it's about.
Like you said, if they want to educate us, I hope they truly educate us rather than trying to manage the perception we have about
I think what it would be is for us to see their perspective, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think it's a perspective thing. Yeah.
And it will not be our perspective because we are not politicians. I don't think I'll agree with it, but it would just be nice to also not going to be sincere.
Do I think it will be embellished? Yeah. Do I think there'll be a little bit of hypocrisy and exaggeration in it? Yes. I mean, undertones, undercurrent. Oh, definitely. Yes. I mean, because it's our politics, so they wouldn't totally want to put it out there the way it is. But like you rightly said, it's their perspective, not ours. We might not totally 100% agree with what it is they're going to put out there, but they wear the shoes. So they can rightly express what it is they're trying to express.
Maybe some truth will be in it. We'll see.
Some truths.
Some truths. The conversation continues right after this break.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Jide Awobono. I'm an actor. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Take care.
Ndibanye, ana meke nuno. None.
The moment he came with that message of you don't expect me to treat the 97% the same way I would treat the 5%. That was a statement of division.
I haven't even heard. I did not know that this had come up again. Really? I didn't know it had gone into second reading. So thank you for mentioning it. This is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. To think that these people can raid this country, destroy this country, and then ask for immunity.
Isn't democracy the government of the people, by the people, for the people?
That's what it should be.
And at what point did we give the power within this democracy, of this democracy, to the people we have voted?
The Constitution is not we, the people, as we have it today. It's not we, the people, that promulgate. That Constitution is not us.
It has nothing to do with it.
It's something that was foisted on us.
Hi everyone, my name is Inkem Machi. I'm an actor. Keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
I don't like girls that talk too much, tweet too much, or post on Instagram too much. And this is coming from our new baby boy in town, Rema.
Baby boy. I saw the full clip. It obviously doesn't sound as harsh as the blogs have headed it, like he's being authoritative. If I saw that, the headlines first, I'd have been like, "Bros, we're not talking about. Yeah. We're not gonna keep quiet. We're not gonna the feminists will have jumped out." But I saw the clip first, and it was very decent. He wasn't demanding for us to be mute. He definitely wasn't saying that. He just said that for his life and the type of lifestyle that he has, he needs somebody that he can trust with his pillow talks.
He wasn't condescending.
Because he even said, I'm more susceptible to talking a lot during pillow talks. So I just need somebody that I can trust. So in his immature, I guess, childlike mind, he equated that to numbers, because the reason why I say that is because there's no maturity in saying that a girl who has a lot of followings talks too much.
I was going to get there.
So that's what I'm saying, it's childlike. But I understand where he's coming from. That's just somebody that isn't too much in the social life, because numbers these days just sometimes just mean that the girl might take social media a bit seriously in terms of being on the spotlight and all that stuff, and they might want to use this information. So I get the logic, but that does not mean that a lot of following equals not being able to trust them with your conversation.
Or being private.
Yeah.
I think I saw the clip, and I felt Rema wasn't condescending, like Riley said. It was what he likes. You know, I mean, the kind of girl you want to get with. I don't need that to be all out there. And for him, the numbers means you have a whole lot of following. People will constantly come to your page because someone these days you have 50,000 or 100,000 following you. You're regarded as a social influencer. You know, and so he wouldn't want to put himself in a situation whereby I say something to you in secret, somewhere out of excitement or not being careful enough.
Well, you see that can happen with somebody who's quiet, though.
That can also happen with someone who isn't even on social media.
That will blow it up. Now, this person is on social media. This person is known.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Right?
I'm saying
a regular girl who's quiet would have friends.
I get what you're saying. But so a regular girl who is quiet, and then I mean, I agree totally what you have said and what you're saying. But I'm trying to paint a different scenario. So you are dating someone who is maybe not even on social media, because there are girls that are not on social media, but you spewed a lot, like you said. If you're cool with a girl and you're dating her, you have the tendencies of talking a lot to her, right? And then she out of excitement now goes ahead to speak with her friends. So how do you know her friend that is on social media or not even on social media will not sell that information to a platform that needs it? I think what he really needs, I mean, I'm all for someone who understands what he wants.
Privacy,
but I think
discretion.
he needs privacy, discretion, but that it doesn't have anything to do with being on social media or how many followers you have. Sometimes I can even make an argument to say he actually needs someone who already has seen that fame and is not crazy about that fame anymore, and has been able to tone it down to say, okay, this is what I'm putting out, this is part of my life I'm not putting out, and I'm fine with it. But you see, his reason for this, it can come from anyone, even without the intention.
Yeah.
Well, I totally get what Rema's trying to say, because many people can't deal with, you know, tardiness, lousiness, and if few girls could come off like that sometimes, when they don't know how to put the silence on what they're saying, and to them every information you give out to them, they just want to spin it out.
I agree. I'm just saying it just doesn't come with your number of followers and the fact that you're private online.
You know, this is Rema's concern.
Yeah, which is why he's still in his maturity, in his matured mind. There's still an immaturity.
The way he unfolded it is quite, from a younger perspective. If an older man said the same thing, you'll have been a lot more into it. Like for using words like discreet, words like, you know, wisdom, implementing wisdom in when you share your information. But he said what he said. I mean, Davido said the same thing too with what's her name? What's her name? Chioma. He said that one of the reasons why he liked her was because she didn't even have the social media account, and that she liked to cook very well. He mentioned a few things when, I don't know if it was a party or whatever.
You just brought a perfect example. Chioma is someone.
Look at Chioma now.
How many followers?
How many followers does she have?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's somewhat of a social.
But she has not changed.
But the point is,
because she doesn't really put out much.
Does she have conversation with Davido? No, of course, yeah. Does she say anything about
I think she
both of
talks too much now. Like when she had her baby, we started seeing how changing that pass and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, I think that's also a perfect example, like you say, to say whether you are online or offline, it is about your personality and you understanding the boundary and the values as well, and also understanding that when your man comes to tell you something, he's telling you, not the word. And when your woman tells you as well, he's telling you, and not for you to tell your guy friends, right?
You know, ladies, I think we just live in an age where people can't, because of social media, we don't draw the line with what is private any longer and what is
a lot of
sacred,
people do.
You know what I mean?
We just judge every other person with the attitude of the few ones that don't enjoy it.
You also transcend your
the spiral of silence.
I think one thing people do on social media that really irks me is when I upload something and you're like, I would never do that. Well, like, I'm not you. And what you think is private, I don't mind sharing. comes to things like body parts, like people say, I would never post my boobs. Some girls love that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, it's their relationship.
Oh, you need to go.
Why not? Oh, wow. When a man can do it, why would I not be able to do it? And if you have a problem with that, you shouldn't be in my space.
No,
you should follow me.
I don't have the problem with
that. I'm even talking to the bigger audience.
Okay.
So, but it's same thing with like, you have people who like don't share their family members, you don't know who their husbands are, you don't see their children, while some pages is just for their family members and their children. Some people it's just about their bodies. So be careful when you start to say things like, what are your, like, is the person private or not? Because
and what you post online doesn't make you a better person.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's who you are.
I'm not talking what you use, right? Your values, what your values are. I mean, people
they have to align. The person you're with, it has to align. Because with Rema, he cannot tell me that he wouldn't want his babe to put his music online. While some people say that that's too much information, that's my art and that's for me. So like, tell us what your values are. Let them align with each other.
Body parts and my music, they're two different things.
How? It's what?
It's my art form. I mean, we're talking about my body.
My body is my art. Have you?
I'm also saying.
Don't get me wrong. That's an art form. What?
Have you? I'm just saying, if you're comfortable and you like your body, I love my body. I tell myself somehow I'm a kind of a nudist, you know. I don't mind to show that part, but I just will not do it. And if anybody does it, I'm not going to judge you. You get what I'm saying? So I think your values, your principles, come to play whatever it is you're having something to do with. What you agree on, what's going to go online, what's not going to go online. It's both of your business.
Right now, we have to go, but I have to say that I'm glad that you have clothes on right now. Thank you for watching. And you as well. Thank God you have clothes on. Thank you for watching, and you can catch up on this conversation all over again by visiting our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. And please do remember to subscribe. You can also watch Tea Time on Alto TV and London on Ben Television. My thank you as always to go to my co-anchors Ife Omai and Benny Ag and the entire production team. Thank you for watching Plus TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Elsie Godwin. Do stay with us.
Hi guys, my name is Kemen Fitness. I'm a fitness entrepreneur and wellness coach. Drink a lot of water, stretch before you work out. Try to work out at least 30 minutes. Eat healthy, that's eat clean, and have a lot of sleep. Yeah, try to sleep when you can. On the keyboard. I don't think I know. On the keyboard. That's it, on the keyboard. If it's not Z, I don't know. Oh. Last sleep with your hung out with. When was the last time I hung outside? But I had the most fun hanging out with Timaya. He's a comedian. North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Okay, so wait. Some chairs have arms and legs but no head. Maybe. Yeah. I admire a lot of female celebrities. A lot of them. I mean, yeah, of course. The most. Don't tell anybody. Tiwa Savage. Hi guys, my name is Kemen. I'm a fitness entrepreneur and a wellness coach. These guys, they made me thirsty. But I survived. At least I answered most of the questions, so I tried. Yeah!
Country people, I greet you on top of 0 o'clock. I'm Mr. Nate. Join us for news on the hour for Plus TV Africa. This is not the Toronto Mr. Sama given my name, I promise. Nero. Esoga President Muhammadu Buhari say strong diplomatic worker with Hellenic Republic and Republic of Cuba could ginger Nigeria worker when say that they diversify the economy, improve global competition, and reposition the country to play plenty of bonga roles. For 1 year, inside Abuja on Tuesday, Femi Adesina when we say the President talk man. Esoga President Buhari talk this one when we say received letters of credence from the ambassador of Hellenic Republic to Nigeria, Loanis Plotas, for inside the presidential villa, Abuja. The Nigeria guy at the top, he say the long-standing diplomatic and business relation with the country, it go make them strong for waiting the two countries will get. And he constantly say plenty global challenge them go need every, may they put head together for lasting solutions. For a year, the ambassador say business worker between Nigeria and Hellenic Republic, when we say they stick up Greece, he don't tell especially the floor mills when we say employ about 50,000 Nigerian people for some point inside the country history. As they received the letters of credence of the ambassador of the Cuba to Nigeria, Clara Margarita Polido Escandel, Oga President Buhari say make waiting resemble for the culture between both countries serve as force to work together, especially for trade. The Supreme Court don't throw away the applicant of People's Democratic Party Emeka Ihedioha when they say he want. I mean, the reason the Apex Court January the 14th judgment when that they say not being win and call order one certificate of return to Senator Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressive Congress APC. Six of the justices them when they say they sit down for the panel say make wait till the Apex Court when Justice Tanko Mohammed sit down as Oga talk stand. Why Justice Chima Nweze inaugurate? Our talk person Amadou Ye. The
case had generated tension as no election dispute resolved by the Supreme Court of Nigeria had been set aside by the Apex Court in the past. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, had revealed that a 7-man panel of Supreme Court justices, led by Justice Tanko Muhammad, had been misled by the All Progressives Congress, APC, and so the judgment should be reversed. However, after several weeks of bickering by both political parties and postponement by the Supreme Court, the Apex Court finally made its decision known.
Today, the Supreme Court has affirmed its decision that Hope Uzodinma was legitimately elected the governor of Imo State. It has refused the application to set aside its judgment as an abuse of court process. We want to appreciate the Supreme Court, and we also want to appreciate our colleagues on the other side. This is essence of having a court. Instead of resorting to violence or self-help, they have come before the court.
The Supreme Court 6-1 dismissed the application on the ground that it lacked merit, that the Supreme Court does not have the jurisdiction to review its judgment or set aside its judgment, unless on certain exceptional grounds, which none of those grounds was playing out in that case.
Counsels involved in the case say it was clear that the Supreme Court displayed the highest form of independence, as the judgment by the 7-man panel had 1 out of 7, Justice Chima Nweze, recant on his earlier decision and take the side of the PDP.
The fundamental issue is that it shows the independence of each justice of the Supreme Court in determining issues before them. One of the justices dissented. So as far as he is concerned, he found that the decision ought to have been set aside, and he set it aside. What is then the implication of his decision? The implication of the decision is that he expressed his opinion, but then the majority carried the day. In other words, the authority for whatever it is now is the decision of the 6 justices that will not be the authority for subsequent application that will come.
Some believe that with the new judgment, the case has finally been resolved, and there is no hope for further appeal.
The court has spoken twice that Uzodinma is the governor of Imo State. I want to appeal to everybody to go back and work with him. The Supreme Court will not speak a third time on this matter.
If any other person brings any application similar to this, we rely on the decision just delivered today to be an authority for us to ask the court not to the majority. So that's the issue.
Many say justice should not only be done, but to be seen to be done. Now that the Supreme Court has served its own dose of justice, it is hoped that governance can now resume in Imo State. Amadil Uyu, Plus TV Africa.
Meanwhile, the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Adams Oshomole, he don't hear the judgment of the Supreme Court for the Imo State governorship election. The Chairman say the judgment of the Apex Court don't confirm the choice of the people of Imo State. He gave reporters on Tuesday just after the Supreme Court threw away the applicate of Emeka Ihedioha. The Senate on Tuesday passed for second reading for one bill to make the Armed Forces Service Commission stand. The legislation warned the proposed agency to say the president follow the Federal Character Commission principle for inside the appointment of service chiefs, and the law will still make the possible for Nigeria people when they say that they vex to fit sue the commission if they feel say they don't follow the principles of the service chief appointment. If both chambers pass enter law and they can carry and go meet the president, the ginger for due process for that kind of appointment will be thing of the past. The fear of the coronavirus spread for the country go up on Tuesday as the House of Representatives talk say make the National Assembly suspend plenary so that lawmakers no go get the disease. The House do the work as the Minister of Health, Dr. Saige Hanire. He talk say the Oga Patapata of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Ehekwazu, when we say just show back from China a day for one place for 14 days, as we say na the due process. The federal government say they don't carry environmental health officers, go public place them like motor parks, markets, and schools to stop the spread of the disease on Tuesday. And the House of Representatives call for the suspension of the National Assembly plenary for 2 weeks, as they say, make them do screening of the management of the legislature and make them put sanitation devices for National Assembly complex for the period. Health officials inside Lagos State don't quarantine one Chinese national just after he showed the country with one Ethiopian airline plane. The commissioner for health for the state, Akin Abayomi, through this and give reporters on Tuesday. They waka go meet the Chinese citizen for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport after they say he go through the screening for those when they say they enter the country. They carry and go to the Lagos State Isolation Center when they say they take the test them for the novel coronavirus, but they never talk the result of the test. The Ministry of Environment don't talk their commitment to contain the coronavirus, and the Minister of Environment, Muhammad Mahmoud, when we say the young give talk man inside Abuja said the ministry don't ready to carry environmental health officers to assist for the stop of the spread of the virus and help to know the high-risk areas. Mahmoud said the ministry put hand for better hygiene management and increase awareness for the benefit of hand washing as we say a containment measure to stop the spread of the virus.
The environment sector, under the leadership of the Federal Minister of Environment, will key into the COVID-19 containment strategy of the health sector. We shall deploy environmental health officers to coordinate essential strategies in identifying high-risk areas in Nigeria. Universal temperature monitoring, masking, and hand washing, in addition to mobilizing protocols, shall be prioritized in the environmental contingency plan. In the same vein, environmental decontamination and disinfection shall be undertaken in high-exposure areas with a view of killing the developed virus.
The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSA, it does some accused for plenty party for the Northeast to benefit from the war against terrorism. The Oga Patapata of the center, Princess Ajibola Iyan give talk man inside Abuja said the evidence when we say the ground, it shows say plenty of Bunga people from Northeast, the ginger to stop the war against terror. Ajibola, when we say they hate their military for the better work against the terrorists, he tell them may they not give up and may they put all this mind as they want to come out the nation from terrorist people's hand.
We wish to state that on numerous occasions, where researchers from CALSA were on the field conducting periodic reviews of the war against terrorism, it has encountered on numerous occasions top brass of the Nigerian Army with the troops in the trenches, and worthy of mention is the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. This is quite commendable and an indication that indeed the leadership of the Nigerian Army has matched words with actions in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. It must be noted that it is indeed a statement of the fact that all hands must be on deck in pursuit of the defeat of the remnants of Boko Haram ISWA in Nigeria and especially in Northeast region. The Nigerian military must not also tolerate any act of sabotage from any quarters in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria as multiple evidences suggests that some vested interest in northeast Nigeria that have been benefiting from the Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist groups and their activities are hell-bent on seeing to the continuation of hostilities so they can continue to smile to the bank at the detriment of the generality of the people of not only Nigeria, but especially the people of northeast Nigeria.
The Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, and Ondo House of Assembly later on Tuesday passed the Security Network Agency and Amotekun called Bill enter law. The bill not to unify the proposed law when be say it guide the security outfit Amotekun when the 6th Southwest governor join body do. The Lagos State House of Assembly passed the bill after the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa and people when be say they work with them, read them for the 3rd time. They passed the bill for Ogun when we say Governor Dapo Abiodun do after 19 days. Inside Oyo State, the House of Assembly called on Governor Seyi Makinde to sign the bill enter law after they pass them. Why for Osun State, they say the House of Assembly passed the bill after they amend some of the things for the bill. Inside Ondo, the House of Assembly passed the bill after the majority Oga Jamiu Maito he moved one motion when the Shemu House Committee on Security Ololade Begudu it takes submit the document. All right, the news could continue after the chicken break. Mona no go anywhere. The Ministry of Health confirmed for one year for late Tuesday says Senegal recorded their 2nd case of COVID-19. Authorities say the patient is one French national when say showed Dakar for 29th February from Paris. This case will be like the first one when we say the record on Monday when we say it still be French national when we say it is still Senegal. They say fly from France enter Senegal. Nigeria are the only other sub-Saharan African country with one case when we say involve one Italian national when we say fly enter Lagos before you enter another state. They don't put them inside one facility when we say the Lagos state government they run to look well. All right, the next one, now foreign news.
The moment he came with that message of you don't expect me to treat the 97% the same way I would treat the 5%. That was a statement of division.
I haven't even heard. I did not know that this had come up again. Really? I didn't know it had gone into 2nd reading. So thank you for mentioning it. This is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. To think that these people can like raid this country, destroy this country, and then ask for immunity.
Isn't democracy the government of the people, by the people, for the people?
That's what it should be.
And at what point did we give the power within this democracy, of this democracy, to the people we have voted?
The Constitution is not we, the people, as we have it today. It's not we, the people, that promulgate. That Constitution is not us.
It has nothing to do with it.
It's something that was foisted on us.
Welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways.
Coronavirus, it's a viral infection. And the new coronavirus that we're all talking about, novel coronavirus, it's part of a family of various coronaviruses that do exist.
If anybody is not prepared right now, I would say it's carelessness, because it is something we all knew was going to come.
Symptoms to look out for, the main ones are cough, high fever, and respiratory distress. That just means breathing difficulties.
I will say no country is prepared for coronavirus as it is. Really?
Prevention is key, and hand hygiene is key when we are talking about this.
Alcohol does not kill it. You just need to take a lot of water.
So
taking a lot of
hydrate your system.
Hydrate yourself.
There is no cure right now. The only thing that we have
gained from 1.5% to